Welcome back to video number 6, where we're going to dive into the exciting world of DAOs, also known as decentralized autonomous organizations. So let's start with a question. Have you ever been part of a group where the loudest person always wins? You know, one of those pesky university projects from back in the day? Or a committee where important decisions get made in back rooms before the actual meeting? Or an organization where members pay dues but have no real say in how things are run? DAOs are an experiment in doing things differently. DAO stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. I know that's a mouthful, but let's break it down. Decentralized means there's no single person or small group in charge. Power is distributed amongst members. Autonomous means the rules are enforced by code, not by individuals who might be arbitrary or corrupt. An organization means, well, it's a group of people trying to accomplish something together. Think of a DAO like a co-op that runs on the internet, with its governance rules written in smart contracts. Anyone can propose ideas, members vote on what to do, the results are executed automatically. The treasury, the decision history, the rules themselves, all of it is visible to anyone who cares to look. So here's how it typically works. Someone submits a proposal, let's fund this research project, or change our voting rules, or let's partner with X organization. Members vote. Usually this involves tokens that represent a stake in the organization. And this could take many forms, like one person equals one vote, or one token equals one vote. But DAOs are experimenting with all kinds of voting systems to make participation more fair and meaningful. And if the proposal passes, smart contracts, you know, that thing we talked about in the last video, can automatically execute certain actions, like releasing funds from the treasury. So let's look at some real examples. Gitcoin distributes millions of dollars to public goods projects through quadratic funding, a system designed to amplify smaller donations so community preference matters more than whale wallets. VitaDAO funds longevity research. Anyone can buy membership, and members vote on which proposals get funded. They've deployed millions to scientific projects that traditional funding might have overlooked. Now, DAOs aren't perfect. Many struggle with low voter participation, some have been taken over by wealthy members who accumulated voting power, the user experience is often clunky, and for all the talk of decentralization, many DAOs still depend heavily on core teams who do most of the work. But they represent something genuinely new. Global communities that coordinate through transparent rules rather than trusted leaders. For social impact work, this opens possibilities for community-governed nonprofits, participatory grant-making, and collective action at scales that weren't possible before. So the question isn't whether DAOs are perfect, because we know they're not. It's whether they offer useful tools for building more accountable, participatory organizations. And increasingly, the answer is yes, with appropriate care and realistic expectations. So, a few key takeaways from this episode. Number 1. DAOs are internet-native organizations governed by smart contracts and member voting. Number 2. They enable transparent decision-making, automated rule enforcement, and distributed power. Number 3. Real DAOs are funding research, distributing grants, and building new models of coordination. And number 4. Challenges include voter apathy, power concentration, and the user experience, but the tools are evolving rapidly. So that's the video on DAOs. Thanks so much for joining, and we will see you for the last Explain It Like I'm 5 video, number 7, where we're going to dive into the difference between layer 1s and layer 2s. We'll see you there.